Okay, I'll give you a few clues. In my humble opinion, I think she's the most trusted source for verified news in the country. She's a proper girl's girl. She's a Mangalorean, so represent. And what you don't know about her is that she owns a ridiculous number of blazers. Faye D'Souza, welcome to Pasandida Lady. Guys, I want to tell you, it is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It is actually lunch hour, but our energy levels on this set have never been higher. I'm eating bread to maintain my energy levels. You want piece?
I've already eaten a piece. No, so I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you.
I came in from Chembur, so I left on Tuesday.
Wow.
I have reached on time. I'm thrilled to have reached on time. Oh my God, the traffic.
Okay, I have a few questions before we start.
You have questions before we
Like
start?
about like
I
just
thought
like
the whole point
general-
of starting
yeah,
so you
yeah,
could ask
you know,
questions.
like a general like terms and conditions. Can I swear in front of you?
Of course. Can I swear in front of you?
Of course.
Okay.
Cool.
Alright, cool.
Is it okay if I'm a little inappropriate?
Yes.
I'm generally inappropriate, so I'm just like.
So why does everybody treat me like this, like school principal character?
Do you really want me to answer that?
You know, there was this party-ish.
Party-ish.
Like it was someone's party, but it was slightly work front types at Escobar. And I was just feeling a sari that day. I was like, I'm going to wear a sari. So I wore a sari. And I went to this party and I said, you know, you wish everybody happy birthday, and I'm leaving. And then I had to walk through Escobar's dance floor. And these kids were jumping out of the way saying, sorry ma'am, sorry ma'am. Excuse me ma'am, sorry ma'am. And I was like, when did I get that old? Yeah. You know, there was a time when you had to like shuffle your way past a dance
Elbow
floor.
people up.
Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. Also because I'm not very tall, but this was like, people were just like, oh my God.
Now they're just like, there's like a little parting that's happening in the middle of the dance floor. Faye D'Souza in a sari is just walking by. You're like, oh my God! Oh my God,
They
is
didn't
it
know
her?
who
Is it
I was.
her? Is it really her?
I just look terrifying now.
What are general reactions when people meet you? Like when they're not seeing you in the studio or on Instagram or on YouTube and they're meeting you out in the real world?
You mean people who recognize me?
Yeah, yeah.
Or like generally like
As Faye,
police
you're being
constables.
so modest now. One.
No, yeah. So see, normally people don't recognize me that much. Once in a while it happens at airports.
This is so ridiculous. Okay, I want to tell you, if you're talking about Bombay, I feel like Bombay people are generally very hesitant to come up and say hello.
Maybe.
In other cities, ghanta. This is, I'm sure it is like,
So see-
Faye D'Souza na? Faye D'Souza na?
No. So this happens to be mostly Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi. These are my cities. Hyderabad, Chennai.
Chennai mein to they must be mobbing you, bro.
No, yeah. People are very polite. So people will, there's a little bit of elbowing here, that one. And then if I'm in a place for a while, which normally it's either the airport or, then someone will like slowly muster up the courage to come say hi. But people are very sweet, like very polite. It's always, you know, we really appreciate the work. Thanks for
No
what
one
you
just
do.
coming in straight plonking themselves into like, what do you think about this that is happening in the country?
You know, there was this one instance, I was traveling with my team. So there were 3 or 4 of us. And one person from Delhi was with us and I hadn't seen this person in a while. So we were catching up.
Yeah.
Right? And we were having serious personal conversations. And this one young man is Bangalore Airport. The big Bangalore Airport now, where you
The
have
fancy
to,
one,
you have to pay 800 rupees for a cup of coffee, right? That one. So we had paid 800 rupees for a cup of coffee and we sat down and we were having serious conversations about mental health, as women do.
Yeah.
And this young man walks up to us and he says, I like the work, thank you so much. I said, thank you. Then he went away. Then he came back and said, can I take a photo? And I said, yeah, of course. We took a photo. Then he went away. Then he came back and said, I want to discuss Bihar elections with you. Very sweetly, very honestly, like, you know, I have like contributions. I want to discuss, can you discuss Bihar elections with me? And I was like, you know, I would love to, but this 1 hour in the airport has been set aside for this person, but it was very sweet.
But and also sometimes it must just feel like news is your life. And I feel like because you have chosen to also be on Instagram and YouTube, like as a social media fronting news space, it never stops. You don't have the liberty maybe of like news channels where you're like, हाँ अभी मेरा bulletin नहीं है या फिर मेरा news hour नहीं है, मैं बाद में करेगा. So when you do have your private time, you just really want it also, no?
Actually, you know, it's very different. I feel, having done the whole like newsroom culture, you've done the newsroom culture, and you know how rabid it was, right? It never freaking shut down ever. So for the time that I was in television, not in business news, in general news.
At ET now.
So in ET now it was business news, but when I was running Mirror Now, and that was general news, we were on all the time, like you know, and you think you have Sunday off until something happened, and then you would go into office, or you think you have like it's a public holiday until something happens, and then you go into office. And I was just in the office all the time, and which is why when I moved to running a digital team, I made an active choice saying, I don't think the audience needs to know all the time. So we're going to take time off. So we don't work on Sundays. We don't work on public holidays and big like festivals.
Unless there is some major
thing. Yeah. And I write to the audience. We tried it out the first time. People were like, that makes sense. It's like, we're not going to post today. We're taking the day off.
Yeah.
If something very big happens, I'll tell you. But otherwise, just please, you also take the day off.
Go chill.
Yeah, go chill. I'm not going to bug you with like some, random pieces of information on a holiday.
That is great example of work-life balance. I love it. The fact that you can do that for your team, because I feel like they must also so appreciate it. Okay, fuck, I get to take one day off from the damn news, which otherwise never stops.
Yeah. And the odd thing is, so if something does happen on a Sunday or a public holiday, I will just write it myself. So I don't need the team to sort of come in and, do their thing.
Okay, I want to tell you about the first time I heard about you as my childhood friend's someone. Okay, so just for context, Faye is married to Sagar Gokhale, who has been my friend since I think I was like, I want to say 15 years old. Okay, so I've known Sagar pretty much like a large part of my life. And I think this is like 2008, 2009, I'm not sure of the exact year. You guys are at ET now.
Yes.
I'm at Times now. And we're all in the same... Upstairs, downstairs. Yes. We are all in the same complex basically. And we used to do chai sutta breaks as everyone in the newsroom does. So one day Sagar calls me, he's like, chai break pe aana. I'm like, okay, theek hai. And we're in this, that outside area at Kamla Mills. For those of you who are in Mumbai, you'll understand. We're in that corner. And there are other news people also over there. And, he's just like, I'm dating someone. I don't know if I can call it dating. I don't know. We're just figuring it out. But she's also from the office. And I'm like, who? And he's like, no, she's an anchor. I'm like, who? Asshole, will you just like tell me? And then he's like, it's damn hush, okay? So you can't tell anyone basically. And I'm like, okay, just say it. He says, Faye D'Souza. Me, being me, I'm like, you're dating Faye D'Souza? Like loudly enough for like 10 people around to hear. And he's like, bitch, I just told you to keep it on the down low. And in my head, I was like, oh, okay. So like my childhood friend is now dating Faye D'Souza, and a few years later, of course, you all didn't call me to the wedding, but you guys end up...
It was actually a few years. It was like less than a year. We dated for less than a year.
Yeah, na? And I feel like initially, you guys were in a space what the kids today would call a situationship. Yeah. Like you all weren't giving it a label. You're like, we're together, we're doing all the coupley things, but we're not calling each other boyfriend, girlfriend.
No. So actually, there were many angles and layers to that.
I want to know all the angles and all the layers.
So in the sense that we didn't want anybody in the office to know. So, if Sagar told you, you're really in a circle, because we didn't tell anybody.
Not good enough to make it to the wedding.
There was no wedding.
There was.
So I'll tell you. So basically what happened was we decided not to tell anyone because we weren't really sure. And, he was in this like, I don't want to do anything serious. I'm too young. And I was like, theek hai bhai, dekho jo karna hai. And, and then I just reached a point in my life where I said, listen, now I'm serious and I want to get married. So if not you, I'll marry somebody else.
Love it.
So we were chilling together and he didn't take me seriously. And at that point, some like rishta came from somewhere for me.
Kaale munda hai.
Yeah. And I actually went to meet that person and he was like, what the hell? And he was like, what the hell, man? And I said, dude, you don't want to get married, right? And I'm fine with that. So then it just like rocked his world. But anyway, we did decide, and he very casually proposed.
No, I don't skim over the details. Okay, God is in the details. I want to know how Sagar Gokhale, because this clip is going to live on the internet.
Forever.
And I get very few opportunities to fuck with him. So I am sorry. We are going to make the. So also again, more context. Sagar is notoriously shy. So I think to people who know him, he's very like,
I'm so good. Yeah,
I'm so cool.
Shy.
I know better than you. I'm so this. I'm so that. But otherwise, the minute you put like a camera in front of Sagar, or the minute you tell him to do something public facing, he's like.
Which is hilarious because his whole life is to put cameras in front of other people.
Exactly. So don't skim over the details, my friend. You shall be telling me the tea properly.
Okay, so I'll tell you the tea story.
Oh,
the tea story
great.
was funny. So So we had been colleagues for a really long time.
Yeah.
Sagar and I, we were working in CNBC together, then we worked at ET Now together. And I had just moved to Bombay from Bangalore again.
Yeah.
And I had a little alto, which I was very proud of. I was living on Hill Road and he was living in Kalina.
Kalina, yeah.
And so, it was like we were working together and every day I would leave office and I had a rocking social life. And he would say, Acha, kahan ja rahe ho? So I'd be, I'm going home. So he said, Acha, I will come with you and then I'll get off at that lucky signal and go from there. So I said, okay. Now at that time, there was no ceiling.
Correct.
FYI. That's how old we are. So we had to drive down Cadell Road, which would take an hour.
Yeah.
So we were together for an hour until we got till Bandra. And then I would reach the point where it was drop off and be like, Abhi, chalo.
Yeah.
Pulled over.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, so what are you doing tonight? I'm hanging out with some friend or the other. I would always had some plan. So he said, chal, main bhi aa jaunga. And this would happen every night. Okay.
So he would just be inviting himself to these things. Okay, love
which
it.
is really surprising, right? Because today he would be mortified by that idea.
Today he would, yeah, he would.
And so he would say, main bhi aa jaunga. And then he would come and hang out with my friends and they would all be like, what is going on? And we would have, dinner, something, and then he'd say, chal, we'll have coffee. And I was really into coffee. So, I was born in Chikmagalur and I'm like, coffee is my favorite thing.
You are into coffee.
So I had like different types of coffee in my house and I would brew coffee very seriously. And he'd be like, you make such good coffee, I come to your house, make coffee for me. So I was making coffee for him every night. And he was drinking this coffee also. And this went on for a few months. And then finally when we got serious and we started dating.
No, wait, again, pause. So in this entire coffee escapades, nothing is happening.
Nothing has happened.
What do you mean? You are having coffee and discussing what? Ki aaj ka rundown itna fakal tha. Like, what are you discussing? What is happening?
We never ran out of things to
Where is
talk
the
about.
chemistry?
There's always flirting and chemistry, but nothing happened, nothing was said. And then when we finally started becoming like a couple, he tells me very sweetly saying, Acha, listen, I don't drink coffee. I drink tea. Can you please make chai for me? And I was like, 6 months you have been drinking coffee.
No, I'm not surprised that you say that, he's a chai drinker because that is all I remember. Tapri pe chai. Usne kabhi life mein coffee nahi manga hai.
Yes.
Yeah. So Shaggy drinking coffee for 6 months and you all are talking, but I really want to know, what are you all talking about in the 6 months?
I mean, I think that people who still, come and spend time with us at home, which everybody should, we never run out of things to talk about. And we're talking about current affairs, and we're talking about politics, and we're talking about like...
Nazar na lage, whatever.
And it's really sweet because family members who stay with us, come and stay with us, like, you guys never talk about like, Chawal khatam ho gaya. Or, this so and so. Like, we have no domestic conversation at all. Zero. Because we're always talking about, like, did you see this? Did you see that? This has happened, that has happened. Like, what's going on in, like, Nepal? What's going on in this? Like, what does Donald Trump actually mean?
Yeah.
Like, how, and, we have these serious conversations about culture. About, like, how the culture of our country is changing in the sense that, this new trend has come. What does it mean? Is there like a deeper basis to this? Is there like a deeper angst?
He is also thinking how to monetize it. Okay, I am so sorry. Like, he's like always thinking about these things like, iska main business plan kaise banau? Isme what can I do in this space? Is there a space to make money here? But okay,
so things that I never say in public, right? And because you know both of us so well, I genuinely believe he has the mind of a genius when it comes to creating products and creating content in a way that I've never otherwise encountered. And when I met Sagar, seriously, like when we started dating, I was doing a 1.5 hour show on ET Now about personal finance. And he was able to see, and this is what he does for a living. He meets people and he can see potential in that talent, saying, this is what you could be doing, right? And he was able to see potential that I couldn't see. And he was like, no, you know, you've got to try for other shows, and you've got to be doing general news, and you have to be doing this, and you have to be doing that. And so to live with Sagar is to live with someone who is constantly pushing you. Like, I want to give you this is a really odd example, right? And I love cooking. And so when we met, until we got married, I never had a cook. Because I would cook all my meals myself, and then when we got married, I would cook all 3 meals myself and take great pride in cooking. And, you know, and he kept saying that, listen, this is great, but this is a waste of your time. You are meant for much greater things. And I was like, no, but I really like doing this, and I hate the idea of somebody else in my kitchen, and blah, 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 all of this. And he reached a point where he just stopped eating everything I would cook for him. Like, he just went on like non-cooperation movement. He just stopped eating. And he said, no, you get a cook. I'm no longer going to like be part of this like you cooking thing. And then I got a cook, and then it freed up my time, and he insisted that I do more, and you know, there's like more out there for me. So going from doing one personal finance show a week where no one knew my name to where I am today is, and this is exclusive, I'll never see it anywhere else, between 80 and 85% Sagar and the rest me.
You know, that makes me so fucking happy, because I think, like, you know, when you're friends with someone for so long, and you know, the way the world is right now and how we look at men and how they need to be supporting women who are growing and rising and, you know, doing things that we didn't think were possible. You think about, like, will your friend be able to do that for his person, for his wife, for his partner? And to just hear that he is doing that for you, I love it. Sagar, the one time, this will live rent free. Tu ye dekhkar when you were 60, 65, whatever. It was just his birthday yesterday. Tu khush hona.
You know, I'll tell you, this other amazing thing happened, right? So when I was in Mirror Now, and there were a lot of very young people working with me, and I would talk about this sort of thing a lot, because we'd all be, you know how it is, you finish work, you go out for a drink, and so my producers, I had 2 young producers working with me. One of them got married while we were still at Mirror Now, and his wife got a great job in Delhi. She's an anchor, she's a news anchor. And we were talking about, you know, what that means for him. And he said, you told me what Sagar did for you. I want to be able to do that for my wife.
Oof. That is what I mean. You're setting a fucking trend.
You set a trend for other young men to believe that it is not just okay, but it is a thing of pride to support your wife's success. I think that's amazing.
I love that, man. I mean, I feel like, you know, one of the things I'd written about was like dating, right? And dating today has gotten so complicated. Like,
yeah, man, you know, I dated before the C-Link was open. So, you know, so I have no idea what's going on these days. I'm just like,
I mean, you guys went from situationship to casual to, I don't know if there was benching for a little while or whatnot.
It's 6 months that we got married.
Yeah, and then you like, fuck it.
We did a registered wedding, like I say, fatafat, because, you know, this whole like complication of this religion, that religion, what are we going to do? And we didn't have that much money. We didn't want, like, we were funding our own shadi, so we didn't want to do like a big complicated multiple thing. And we didn't want to get into that, like, iska rivaz, uska rivaz, something, so we hammed it. we did a registered wedding, okay? We got it over with, and now we're married, right? Now, which set of parent is going to, like, now you're married, right? Now so we did a small, like, my parents called their people in Bangalore just to register the fact that their daughter was married, and then his parents called their people in like Nagpur, And it was like, in neither of these things would like 50 people, I think, in the room. Just so the parents could have their thing, and we were done. That was it.
Badi
And
party.
it was so small, Janice, that we went on honeymoon.
Where did you go for honeymoon?
Masai Mara in Kenya.
Oh, nice.
15 years ago, it was really nice.
Lovely.
And then we came back and we rejoined work. And then one of our colleagues went up to Sagar and said, "Hey, dude, मैंने सुना है तेरा कुछ fake के साथ चक्कर चल रहा है." It was so quiet, and Sagar's like, "Yeah, we just got married."
तो like चक्कर चल रहा है bro, तू थोड़ा late है. तू news में ही काम करता है ना कि मतलब तेरा rundown इतना पुराना है.
Yes, yes.
Dude, I love
So
that.
it was. So when you say, there was no wedding. It was just like we wanted to be married to each other. We found the shortest route to get there, because for us it was just like, let's just like jump this hurdle.
Okay, 15 years, right? 15 years into
Yes.
this relationship.
As of the 4th of September.
Yeah, congratulations. 15 years is a
Yeah.
very, very long time
Is
in
it? No?
today's. It
My
is,
parents
na?
were together for 50 years. So yeah.
I mean, my grandparents also celebrate 52 years, yeah. So
Yeah.
I get it. But nowadays, I feel like if you cross even like maybe, I don't know, what is a good timeline for like a long relationship now?
10 years in a marriage.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, 10 years is a good, like a decade, and you're like, oh, well done, well done.
That's success.
Because there's so much happening, right?
Yeah. No, but what about like when people are dating? What's a long relationship?
6 months. I think.
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
What?
10 years and all, I can't.
I'm very glad I'm not. I would have never lasted.
6 months is hard. No, but that's hard, yeah, because 6 months it takes to like
Correct.
get to
6
know
months,
someone.
Sagar was drinking coffee, guys.
He's drinking
And
coffee,
I swear, if
giving
this is where
himself
you're
ulcers.
tuning in, drinking coffee is not code word for something else. He's just really drinking
actually-
coffee that he
I know.
doesn't even drink.
The funny thing was, and there I was, now in retrospect, right? You want Ethiopian coffee today? Or he doesn't care. He's like, kuch bhi bana.
I was just going to ask us like, okay, wow, really sweet. 6 months he's wasted. What coffee? What the hell?
6 महीने के लिए कॉफी पी
मैं
रहा
वहाँ filter
Not
लगा
even
रही हूँ.
appreciated.
I'm making filter coffee. It was like insane. And he was drinking it at night, man. The chap must have not slept at all.
I don't know. It's also the funny thing though in all of this.
He would have known that he was running this risk.
Yeah.
If you and I were going to shoot something, that would mostly be about him.
Yeah, na?
Yeah.
Yeah, he very confidently, I spoke to him an hour, I think like what, 2 hours ago. As usual, your husband, that is for a different time, fuck it.
Huh.
But 15 years into this marriage, 15 years into this relationship, and now that you're seeing how complicated the dating world has gotten,
Yeah.
if you had to sort of, from your experience, tell men and women right now about what they maybe should not be paying attention to and what they should instead be focusing on,
Oh, good Lord, that's really hard, yeah?
just from your perspective, because I feel like,
No, but it'll get really dark.
go for it.
Go for it? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
who said it's got to be light and all flowers and puppies?
I don't know, you have bubbles on your face. I don't know.
I have bubbles whether it becomes light or dark. Bubbles.
Okay, so I feel like when we start dating, or when you, so I don't know if people today are dating with the idea of marriage in mind, you're just dating. I'm saying, so let me talk about marriage specifically, right? Because I believe it's a very different commitment. When you're dating with the idea of marriage in mind, you do it for many things, like, oh, I like this person, and there's lust, and there's love, and you're in love, and all of these things, and you think you're compatible. Bollocks, nobody ever knows if you're really compatible. I think the base emotion has to be respect,
Yeah.
right? Because looks fade.
100%.
After 15 years, nobody looks the same.
Yeah.
And you annoy the living daylights out of each other, and you're constantly sitting in silence imagining what it would be like to club the other person to death, right? But I feel like a lot of the things that go wrong in a marriage stem from disrespect.
Yeah.
So on the larger scale, infidelity is a form of disrespect. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, making fun of your spouse in front of other people.
So important.
Not what we did just now. But
We did it out of love, Sagar. We love you. We are two women here who love you. She loves you way more. I love you this much.
But you know what I mean? I feel like it's so important, and from my experience, it's so important to be someone and have someone who respects you as an entity. So you are an individual, your ideas, your thoughts, your opinions, your choices
Matter.
matter, seriously matter. And especially in India, because we now marry so interculturally.
Yeah.
So you will have someone who eats like rotis marry someone who likes rice. You know, so you're marrying across cultures, you're marrying across like languages, states, and it's so important to have someone who respects the culture you come from. I mean, you and I are Mangalorean, it's such a sliver of a culture, right?
Yeah.
But it's so typical. Like we have our food and we have our language and we have our something, and you can't live with someone who's constantly dissing that.
Yeah. Correct.
You know, you need to live with, and or even just saying that it's not really, your culture is not really a real culture. Right?
That would be horrible.
That would
Yeah,
be horrible.
Horrible.
So all of these things, so if you have a thought about something, if you have an opinion, a belief about anything, you have to be with someone who respects that. Especially if it's an interreligious, you know, marriage. We're an interreligious marriage.
Yeah.
So we started off saying, I don't have to believe what you believe. I have to respect what you believe. I have to respect that this is important to you.
Yeah.
Like I have to respect that aloo paratha is important to you, even though I don't see the point of it. You know what I mean, right? So, like, I eat ragi mudde at home. Exactly. I have to be
Sorry,
with someone
again, I think you need to give context to that because I feel like most people are like, te kalesa. Like, what is that? Sorry.
Ragi is fantastic. It's really good for you.
Not in cakes.
Not in cakes. But in the south, in Karnataka, we make it into these like ragi balls that
I
you
know.
dip in your sambar and you eat. I love it. You're making that face. I love it. You know, people love it, people hate it. But
No, we do it.
you don't have to love what I love. You have to respect what I
Hello,
love.
we're both Mangalorean. I can happily diss you. Okay, within community we are allowed. Okay, I'm allowed to have these because Nappy makes it. My grandmother makes a different version of it, but it's with curry.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan.
You're not
I'm
a
not
fan.
I'm not a fan at all. No. It's like no.
Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. It has to be, and my biggest learning has been that when you marry someone, that person is not just seeing you through like your happy youth days, but that person will see you through the birth of your kids, which I can tell you as a woman will completely change you, and you need someone to catch you on the other side.
Yeah.
Through the loss of your parents, through the ailing, you know, days of your parents, when you will have to give a certain amount of time and energy to supporting your parents, and then the person who is your partner has to understand that. And so it's really important because that's why I said there's a difference between, you know, just relationships and marriage, because once you enter that marriage zone, then you're taking on all of these things. You're taking on your partner's parents, you're taking on your partner's relatives, you're taking on your partner's job and the commitments. And, you know, you have this thing where sometimes you have to just go be the wife, you know, at a office thing.
Yeah.
Right? And you take on all of that. And unless you really believe in the entity of the individual that you're with, you can't give that much. It's not even a question of, you know, this person's an asshole and they, you know, you just can't give unless you really believe in this person. And, you know, and it can't be charity. It can't be, this is my husband, so I will do it for you once. You
Because
have to
that
really
in itself is
believe.
disrespectful.
Yeah, it's disrespect.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
I've seen and I've also experienced that husbands and wives do this, right? Where they're going to their partner's homes, their in-laws' homes. And it's like almost like I'm doing you a favor by being here.
Yes.
And that in itself, actually, when you look at it from a neutral perspective, it's disrespect.
Yeah.
Then you might as well not have been there if you're going to be there and sulk about the food, about anything else.
Yes.
Don't
you know,
do it.
because the way I see it is when you go to your partner's family's house, you're a team. So then you're just like, okay, so I'm going to be as shiny as possible to make my partner look shiny.
Yeah.
So I'll do all of the things that will be impressive. And then, you know, we'll win this and we'll come back as a team. So
I know the last few months have been not so great. So firstly, my condolences. I feel like it's an odd thing to say out loud, by the way, like to offer your condolences to someone, but how are you doing?
I'm better now. I mean, it was hard.
you know how like there's so many things that they don't tell you about adulthood, right? And I feel like one of the things I have felt like in the last couple of years, which I wish someone had talked to me about, was that why does no one tell you what it's like to parent your parent? And to prep you at least a little bit of what it's going to be like when they become dependent on you. And you know, Shruti and I have had many conversations because we were trying to make this interview happen for so long. I know that you were juggling back and forth and you know, between Bombay and Bangalore. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. Are you feeling like where are you in the process right now dealing?
So I don't know, in the sense that, you know, it's been a very, very hard year. Dad got sick in March, and I was in and out of the house for the 3-4 months that he was in hospital, and they just couldn't get on top of it. So every time we would treat him for something and bring him home, he would get sick again, we'd take him back in again. So he was in the hospital for so long, it started to like really get to him. And he was not sounding like himself anymore, and he was becoming weaker by the day. So a part of me in my heart knew that we were heading, you know, where we were eventually going to wind up. I still can't say the words. Luckily for me, I have 3 siblings.
Yeah.
There are 4 of us. And we really came together with my mom. And we took turns, and, you know, we did a lot of, nobody actually prepares you for the Indian healthcare system. You know,
Hell yeah.
And the ICUs and the doctors and the surgeries and the fact, you know, and I feel like this should be a whole thing. And I'm sorry, the journalist in me keeps coming out. I feel like patient advocacy in India is such a big thing. Right? And I extensively used ChatGPT because I had this running chat going of all my dad's symptoms and all his blood tests and all his tests, and because the doctors will keep telling you stuff and you have to constantly have your own research.
Yeah.
And I was in touch with, luckily because I have the kind of contacts I have, I was in touch with the head of neurology at Nanavati and the head of pulmonology at Leelavati, and every time they would tell us something in Bangalore, I would call these doctors up in the middle of the night and say, you know, this is what they're telling me to do. Should I do it? Should I not do it? And a lot of times we made decisions not to do what they were telling us to do. And I find that in India with the healthcare system, you have to apply. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as, you'll have a lot of people who say that they're just trying to make money, but I won't go that far. Sometimes you get recommended procedures just because it's possible. But that's not necessarily the best thing for your patient.
Got it, yeah.
Given that person's age and all of the other complications they have, just because you can take out somebody's gallbladder doesn't mean you should. Right? Just because you can do dialysis doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, and I found, you know, that was really taxing, because you can't just say, okay, fine, this is what they're asking us to do, let's just do it. So it was mentally and emotionally and physically very, very taxing. The fact that if you have a patient in ICU in India, you have to just find a place to sleep in the hospital on the floor, right? And you have to, and either you have the financial ability to hire a private nurse to look after your patient, or you have to physically do it yourself. But the nurses don't always come when you call them, and there's a lot of like personal care stuff that you have to do on your own, and there was a lot of it. And of course, I work in the news, and the news didn't stop.
Yeah.
So the whole Operation Sindoor conflict happened while my dad was in hospital, and he was having 2 major surgeries back to back, because if we had not done the surgeries, we would have lost him. So I was sitting outside the hospital ICU covering Operation Sindoor, saying, abhi yahan se aaya, abhi wahan se aaya, this is happening, now that's happening, and you cannot make a mistake, right? I'm very proud of the fact that my team and I made 0 mistakes at that time. I remember I was in the hospital like for a really long period of time, and then I drove home, and then I came back home, And I told my mom I'm going to sleep for some time. It was about like 10-ish something, and I had some dinner and I went to bed and my mom woke me up saying, I think Pakistan is firing at India. And I was like, okay, wait, hang on. And got back up again, opened my laptop. I was like, whoa, hang on, what's going on? You know, so that happened. And it's just, you live these two lives. And I remember finding like a WeWork-ish space next to the hospital, where I would go and record my YouTube videos about Operation Sindoor and then come back to the hospital. And then, you know, and I remember recording a video thinking, oh shit, the doctor's going to come on his rounds now. And you need to meet that doctor to find out what's going on. So I've left it and I've come running back and then I've gone, it just, I can't remember how I did it. I can't remember how we did it.
I feel you, because I feel like, you know, are you the oldest in your family?
No, I'm third. I have two older sisters.
When you're sort of dealing with so many back-to-back responsibilities, right? And even though there's someone suffering and it's someone you love so dearly, it feels like your brain is now working on autopilot, where everything is just a job almost. You're like, this I have to take care of, this I have to take care of, I have to call this one for their opinion. You're just handling things, you're not processing.
Yeah, you're
not getting emotional at that point of time.
And also, you know, I have a 3-year-old who I left behind, right? And luckily, I mean, I have great help. I have a nanny who has been with us from the time my son was born.
Yeah.
So she's, you know, like a third parent, and she looked after him. And Sagar held down the home front and the child, and like a lot of other things. My team at work really held down their end of the, you know, the work front. But it was insane. So this whole Operation Sindoor played out, and I remember it became a thing where every time a doctor would walk into my dad's hospital room for rounds, they would also do a circle, stand next to me, and say, "Kya ho raha?" You know, because I was sitting there. I had the, you know, those Defence Forces press conferences. With those really wonderful women would be running on my computer. I'd have my headphones in, and I'd be writing live news, and they would come around and say, "Acha, so what happened now? What happened now?" Like, it was, when the most surreal thing happened, the day my dad passed away in Bangalore, RCB won the IPL. Right? And it was surreal because we took him home from the hospital that last time, and the city was celebrating.
Yeah.
And there were firecrackers, and you know, people were honking their honks, and everybody was just going bonkers. And there, you know, in that was this house of darkness where we were sitting, and it was just horrible. And then the next day, the day of the funeral, there was a stampede in Bangalore. And for me, it's just weird because I was living this like half life where you have all of these things happen. The news is constantly there. And then immediately after, there was a plane crash in Ahmedabad. Right? Yeah. So you have to just like, I don't know, just continue to live your life, but also do your job. You can't make mistakes. You can't write to your audience saying, okay, listen, you know, we're going to be making a lot of mistakes because I have stuff going on in my life.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think effectively what I'm saying to you is that I've not processed still. Yeah. I brought my mom. My mom has been living with me for the last 3 months. So it's also about, you know, trying to help her through her grief, because the two of them were together for 50 years. To help my 3-year-old understand where his grandfather is. You know, and I remember there was this one day after, you know, we came home and my son started school, and one day he said, "Mama, can I talk to Abba? I want to talk to him. Can I please talk to Abba?" So he used to earlier do this, like when I want to talk to him, and I would video call, and you know, they would talk to each other. And my dad was very fond of my son, like they were really close. And he couldn't understand why I wouldn't call. He thought I was being, you know, it was like you can't have TV. It was like that. He was like, no, but why? Like, why can't you call? I really want to talk to him. It was very hard. Yeah, it's just, you know, between like the work, the toddler, and you know, the news, and caring for my mom, and just finding a way to make all of it. And I remember I texted you saying, I'm really sorry, but there was an entire period, I think for about 5 or 6 months, where I have not responded to messages, and I have not like met people, and I have not gone to people's events, and I've just been, I've been a bad friend and a bad colleague. And you know, I actually had this exercise when I sat down one day and I just like wrote to people saying, listen, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm still trying to find a way to be me. And the odd thing for me is that my dad is he's largely responsible for who I am as a person. I mean, there were 4 of us kids, but I had latched onto him a lot. And I was a bit of a dud kid when I was like, I was the runt of the litter.
Really?
Yeah. Because they were all athletic and bright, and you know, and I was like this like odd child who had glasses in first standard, and I just read a lot. And I was very close to my dad, and a lot of my personality is informed by who he was. And so it's very hard to live in a world where he's no longer there. So I really don't know still, you know. In my head, I'm pretending he's still in Bangalore.
Yeah, I get it. No.
Yeah.
Can I offer some? Without fucking getting into tears, but I don't know, I feel like there's no timeline for this. You can take your rest of your life, Faye.
Yeah.
And there will still be times when you will just find yourself feeling like you've not dealt with enough of it. So there is no, are you feeling, are you over it? No, it's never going to happen. The loss of a parent is something that only those who've experienced it will be able to be like, okay, there's something that's broken.
You know, I feel like there are 2 types of people in the world, right?
Oh God, no.
You
I get
can
it,
divide the world into 2 sets of people. People who have lost a parent and people who have not lost a parent. And people who have not lost a parent have no clue.
No clue.
They have absolutely no idea, and I'm so happy for them. Right?
I'm
if you're
low-key
watching right
jealous.
now and you have both parents, I'm so happy for you. Hug your parents, cuddle them, tell them, you know, even when they're infuriating, tell them that you love them. Because I would give anything to have my dad infuriate me for one more day.
Same. My big thought in life now, 20 years later, is what would my life be like if my father were alive? And the truth is that I don't care what it would be like, he'd be around.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I feel like he is more present now. Because earlier it was, okay, dad's in Bangalore, and if I need something, I have to call him. But now he's with me all the time. Constantly telling me that I'm messing it up. That's not how you do that, you know.
My dad had all these like random jokes, right? When he would be driving, and I drive all the time now. He'd call one side of the road his sasural and one side his maikam. Okay, and apparently he only wanted to drive on the maikar side is the correct one. Okay, because these are typical dad jokes, right? So now whenever I'm on one side of the road, I'm like, I'll be like, if someone's saying, I'll be like, shit, yeah, maikar se cut karte. And they're like, what? It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to me. Or like, I don't know, like, you know, when parents are fighting, you tell my mom, mila upar mat mil. It's just like, and you know, the weird thing is, I think when he was alive, I didn't really take note of any of these things, and now I'm just like constantly like cracking these jokes, these dad jokes that make no sense to anyone else but me.
Yeah. You know, but the sad thing about the dad jokes, right, is that you will make them, but after you stop making them, those memories go. Right? Because the memories last only as long as we last. And that's the, like, I also feel like our parents take with them, and a friend of mine said this to me, their memories of us as children. So there were some moments that your dad and you and my dad and I, only the 2 of us had, which only the 2 of us know. And one half of that memory is gone, and only one half lives for as long as we live. And it was really odd. So 4 siblings, plus spouses, plus children. My parents have this little, it's not exactly a farmhouse, but they sort of bought a plot of land and built a little house on it, and they would go there. It's about an hour outside Bangalore. They would go there to just like peace and quiet, and it was their happy place. So we went there after the funeral as a family, just to, you know, And we were all talking about that, and I realized that he had a different relationship with each of us. So his relationship with me was different to the one he had with my sister. And for a minute, I was thinking that in this room, when all of us are sitting together, we can join all our bits and make a whole, almost. Because everybody has some one bit with them. And, you know, as we then go about our lives, we just take that one bit that we have, that, you know, that memory of something.
I just want to tell you, I mean, this is like collectively I can say for my entire set. If we, as people who don't know you as intimately, are so fucking proud of you and all that you do. He's so, no matter if he's saying you're fucking it up, he's fully proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, but I do have a game for you, okay? It's, since we have Faye D'Souza on the show, I was like, you know, we have to do like, is this fake news or is this true?
Oh my God, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to read a bunch of headlines.
I have to tell you whether it's fake or true.
Whether according to you, whether this is fake
Did
news.
this actually happen or not?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with a really easy one. God, I said it and then she doesn't get it. It's like,
Yeah, you'll have to cut this.
if you don't get it, I'm just like,
So bubbles mean I gave you the wrong answer?
yeah.
That's a weird way to celebrate our one.
Oh wait, okay, you know what, let's flip it. If you give me the right answer, I'll give you bubbles. Otherwise, I'll give you stone cold silence.
Yes.
Okay, first one. Modi's chest is 65 inches, not 56, says Rajnath Singh. Is this a real headline? Is this a real story or is it fake?
It sounds like a real story.
Yes, it is! Well done, well done, well done.
I think this was post-Operation Sindoor. He was basically making a point.
Yes, you're right. So,
Yeah.
okay, that is great. So, she's got 1 point, guys, okay? Topless world leaders would be disgusting, says Putin.
Topless world leaders.
Topless world leaders would be disgusting, says Putin.
That sounds fake.
Wait, no. It is a real headline. No bubbles for you.
No bubbles. Cancel the bubbles. Where on earth did he say this?
He gave an interview saying that he doesn't think that other world leaders could be topless. It would be disgusting. Says a man who likes to be
except
topless.
him.
Yes,
Okay,
that's the context. Okay, so that's
the horse photograph. Yeah.
that's only 1 point out of 2. Okay, you've lost one.
My entire reputation's on the line.
Damn it. This is a tongue twister. British left waffles on Falkland Islands. The
Did the
British,
British leave
left
waffles on-
on Falkland Islands.
Is this true, you're asking me?
Is it true or is it fake?
Good Lord, how would I know? I'm assuming it's true.
Yes, it is true. See, I'm giving you an easy one, okay? So that's
How
2
is
out of
this
3.
easy?
That's really easy. It's really easy. It sounds so outlandish, it should be true.
Okay, never mind. Okay, go
Okay.
on.
4th one. World's first hotdog ATM opens up in New York. Fake or real? World's first hotdog ATM opens up in New York.
Okay, so in New York, they love their hot dogs.
Yes.
They also love their hot dog stands. Would they ever want a cold hot dog to come out of an ATM? Is there a way to make the hot dog? I'd say it's true.
It's fake. Fuck, Janice! My God, you're doing really
But first
bad.
of all, this is not news, yeah?
It is,
How
yeah.
How will I know whether a
It
fucking
is.
hot dog ATM
It's
is
logical.
open?
You actually
This
were
is
on the
not
right.
logical.
This is so logical. You were so on the right path. It's like saying, would Mumbaikars ever want vada pav coming out of an ATM? Hell no.
But that is not a news
That
question.
is logic.
No.
Hey, hello. News is also about logic. Don't try and say this. Okay,
Actually, ask me about real news. I
2 out of 4. Wait.
Damn it.
This is real news only for me. Okay, if a world's ATM, like a hot dog ATM opened up, it would be news, bro.
We should have a separate conversation of why hot dog ATMs is not news. But okay, go on.
Okay. Scientists have found deep sea fish in India that communicate via coughing. Real or fake?
God, where have you found all of this stuff? Wait, hang on. Scientists have found deep sea fish in India.
That communicate via coughing.
You can only find deep sea fish in the Indian Ocean.
You're looking at me for cues. Like, you logically do it out by yourself.
No, I don't do it by myself. I have a team.
Okay.
And we have a
fine, we're
process which I
brainstorming.
don't have access to
Oh,
right
right,
now.
it's called Google. Huh? Say fast. Fake or real?
Fake.
Correct.
Thank you. Because you remember when our fish can't cough.
Okay, sixth one. You've got 3 so far out of 5.
Did
okay?
ChatGPT like generate these for you?
No.
Okay.
These are actual headlines, by the way. Like, we actually, Ayushi and I, like, looked up and, like, checked whether these were damn headlines or not, because I was also like, this is sounding very random. Okay, Kim Jong throws a party for his missiles. Come on. Fake or real?
This sounds plausible.
So it's?
I'm going to say it's real.
Yeah! Okay, this is the next one. So now you've got how many? 4 out of 6. Good. Trump has called climate change a Chinese hoax.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. That was like too
Give
easy.
me my bubbles.
Yes, there you go.
Yes. I'm like
Japan
a 4-year-old.
asks theme park visitors to not scream while they're on roller coasters.
Oh, this sounds very possible.
Yeah.
Because Japan is so pissed right now. They're just like, yeah.
Okay, I've lost count. I have no idea. Last one. Mark Zuckerberg commits to spending $600 billion in the US by 2028.
Spending,
Yeah.
not investing. That's fake.
Okay, wait. We're going into technicality now, okay? So 1 minute.
When you say Mark Zuckerberg is going to spend, it means he's going to go shopping for with $600 billion. Is he going to
no.
invest?
So
That's a different thing.
First, you tell me whether you think it's fake or not.
If it is spending, then it is fake. If I know that Mark Zuckerberg said, as Meta, not personally, that he will
Yeah, Mark
invest.
Zuckerberg commits. So like basically, he's committing on behalf of Meta only.
No, those are two different things. There's
But-
personal money.
But
and-
what was the
and-
question asked to him?
I don't know what the question was. So, see, he has committed to investing in AI, to building AI capacity in the US.
See, I'm not going by that at all. I'm going by the question that the president asked him. How much are you going to be spending? That was the question, right? That was the question.
Okay, so you're saying don't go on the technicality
Don't go-
of spending.
don't
or
go on the
investing. That's $6
technicality.
billion, that's true.
Yeah, that is true.
That's
Sure.
just at the dinner.
Yeah. At that hugely.
Where they took turns to praise the president. Mr. President, you're amazing, Mr. President. Can I talk now about how amazing you are?
I'd like to tell the First Lady, I'd like to thank her for hosting us. What a wonderful job you've done of hosting us. Oh man, that was such an embarrassing press conference. But okay, I think she did like about some 6 out of 10. Yeah,
Hey,
not bad.
6 out of 8.
No, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
I
How
only
many did you
got
get?
two
Wait, you got British, you got Modi's chest. No, you said Modi's chest is fake? No, real. Topless world leaders you didn't get. World's hot dog you didn't get.
I got 2 wrong.
You got 2 wrong. Okay, chalo. 8 out of 10 is pretty good. Pretty good. 8 out of 10 is pretty good, yeah. Even though you claimed that I tried to use Chat GPT for this. I'd like to tell you
No,
that
but that fish coughing thing was like so out there. I mean, who would have come up with fish coughing?
Reward Faye with the peanuts.
Yes, absolutely.
Please reward Faye
Can I
with
tell
the
you a headline that
This
I
is-
did not include?
So sorry.
Otherwise, the starting salary of every journalist.
Yes, that was my starting salary.
That was my starting salary.
But can I please tell you that the headline I did not include, which was true, which was that North Korea sends all of its cats south. I love that headline. I was just like, wow, that is so cute. Okay, but here we're sitting and we're joking about the fact that, oh my God, is this fake news? Is this Chat GPT driven? Dude, how are you dealing with this on the daily? Like, at work, what is the Be True team's process?
So, I mean, our process is to slow this shit down.
Yeah.
So what we do is we have a mechanism that checks, like we have a writing process and a checking process. The writing process, one of us writes it, the other person, one more approves it, and then the third person reads it before it goes out. If there aren't 3 people, because we are a 5-member team,
Wow, there
then
are 3
2 of
people
us.
checking copy.
Yeah.
I mean, in news it's called checking copy. Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
that's-
because otherwise mistakes will happen, right? So I will never put out anything on my own ever. I will always wake someone up and have them like check it once. And then we always look for secondary and tertiary sources. So we use, say, a PTI, which we've subscribed to, where the news comes in. So let's just assume, you know, you get this news that there's been an earthquake, XYZ, this has happened. We will then look for primary sources. Now, the good thing is, because almost all formal information is now using social media.
Yeah.
So the Delhi police will put out something, or some government somewhere will confirm something. Donald Trump does most of his damage directly on social media, right? So it's possible to get it literally out of the horse's mouth / horse's social media handle. So we'll do another check and we'll wait for an official confirmation from either government, from the family of the person that, you know, or from that person themselves, or then you look for a visual, or you look for a video that confirms. So for example, if the story is that Janice has said that only white shoes are in, let's assume. So I check Janice's social media for this, or I check an official confirmation from a government source that this is what has happened, or look for a video where the person has said this, or where I can see this thing actually happening, verify the video. So we need to have at least 2 sources, or 3 if the 2 is not good enough for us, and then we put up the story.
So you're never in the hurry to be like, oh, we want to be the first to break anything.
Never. And it's a very clear, I mean, the audience who reads my work knows very clearly that I will tell you late.
Yeah.
I will never tell you when it has just happened, because it's not good for any of us. And I don't think you need to know immediately. Like, what do you need to know before everybody else? Like, what are you going to do with this information before everybody? Nothing. I think there's of much higher value to know the correct information than to know the fastest information. And our process is so like streamlined and simplified at this point that during Operation Sindoor, I think we were among the only ones who didn't get anything wrong.
And that's saying a lot, because at that time,
I mean, the chaos, man. They just like, Karachi में घुस गए, हम Karachi port को मारा, हमने इधर मारा, उधर मारा, ये किया, वो किया, कुछ नहीं हुआ था. Like, and you know, and this is what I find, the fact that all these guys who did this have now just gone on with their lives as if nothing has happened at a point of, you know, such national importance. There was a night when there were blackouts in most of the big cities in Punjab.
yeah.
Right? Up until Chandigarh, as in Ludhiana, several of the other places blacked out. And I want you to imagine what that would have been like for parents huddling with their children in the dark, hearing drones above head, or hearing activity, or at that point I'm assuming if you're sitting in the dark, everything sounds like a drone to you.
Yeah.
And for at that point, for our country's national media to have behaved in such a poor manner and put out so much wrong information, the people did not know whom to trust anymore. And for, you know, they should have been summarily lined up and made to apologize for every single wrong piece of information that went out. We said that Karachi port had been, it was not, I'm sorry, we got it wrong. We said this, it was not, I'm sorry, we got it wrong. They should have been made to do that, which they were not, and they just like sort of went on with their lives. I think that was, it's a huge indicator of how bad the situation really is right now.
I just feel like the lack of accountability. I feel like we've both been in newsrooms, and I really want to tell you, I feel like when you got out, or when you decided to leave, and I also remember being so surprised at your decision when you decided to leave, because I feel like you were at the top of your game. At that point of time, it was like there wasn't a single day where Faye's debate or something that you put up on the channel isn't making headlines or isn't sort of creating conversation on social media. And then you left, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why is she leaving kind of at the top of her game? Where it feels like, why should you do this right now?
Yeah.
And I feel like what a great decision in hindsight, because fuck, look at what's happened.
Yeah.
Like, do you look at those, at your colleagues, your peers now, and you're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. On a daily basis, actually, I look at them and think, how do you go to bed at night? How do you how do you face your children? Like, can you imagine, and this for me would have been like the biggest thing, like imagine going to school the next morning and having the other kids point at you and say that तुम्हारे पापा तो झूठ बोलते हैं TV पे, right? That for me is like the worst thing ever. And I know these people are raking in the millions. Like these salaries that these guys are getting paid is not a small amount of money. And I'm talking about the editors. Obviously, the journalists barely get paid anything, but I mean, what amount of money will make this okay?
Are you guys watching the news? Like, do any of you watch?
I have my grandparents who watch it, and
Same.
there's so many times that I have to be like, I was like, are you hearing what they're saying? They're like, no. I was like, what are you watching? Like, it's looking interesting. That's it.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
their
you know,
version
people,
of maybe
people
like
who
watching a
you
reality
just take
show.
a scissors and snip that connection, whatever it is in their house. It is the time has come to just cut that cable TV, that set-top box, like whatever cable is running into that television. It's just unhealthy garbage at this point. No good goes on television news anymore. It's it's almost entirely corporate owned.
Yeah.
Right? And they will publicly acknowledge that they're towing the line of whoever is paying their bills.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the expectations are zero. I don't even know, like, I had to tell my team. So, the night that Operation Sindoor started, and we were going by the information that we had, which we were checking with, cross-checking with government sources, we only carried government sourced information. And my team kept saying, no, but this channel is saying this. And I said, just switch off all your TVs. Because it was late night, we were all in our respective houses, we were working there. I said, switch off all your TVs. I do not want to know what any of the television channels are saying, because it's all crap. And we're not going to, because, you're just adding stress.
Yeah.
And we just shut it all off. We didn't watch it at all.
Okay, can I ask you this on the flip side though?
Yep.
Because you refuse to sort of be the mouthpiece for whether it's a corporation, whether it's a certain line of news that you have to put out, is there less access for you?
100%.
Like, do you feel like they're not talking to you as openly,
Nobody's
or they
talking
won't
to me.
give you the information?
No, I mean, this is a obvious thing that nobody gives us interviews, or nobody gives me interviews. I don't get interviews with the ruling party at all. Nobody wants to, sit down with us. They only sit down with friendlies, and that's okay, because there's enough information in the, in the public domain, and the service that my team and I are doing specifically is fact checking.
Yeah, I truly believe that. Because I love the fact that whenever you guys, in the rare time that you do get it wrong, I know that I can count on Faye's page to be like, you know what, we actually got this wrong and we're sorry about that. This is what's correct. If you cannot take that kind of accountability, I'm sorry, how are you building trust? And you might not have those exclusives, but I can tell you without a doubt that there is none of us sitting in this room who does not subscribe to your page. Yeah. And that is the bigger victory. Because my feeling is that when all of this ends, you are going to come out on top. And I know that might not be important for you, but it's important for the world of news, Faye, that someone like you ends up on top. Because we need that. Otherwise, what's the point of this all? I mean, we're just fucking sitting here and just being given whatever the fuck we want as news.
Thank you.
So I genuinely believe that credibility cannot be acquired overnight, right? We have to, and in my mind, it's like building a wall. So every day you wake up and you put in one more brick, 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 and then over a period of time you build a structure of credibility, which is a relationship that you have with your audience. And you have to keep reinforcing that relationship. And also because the audience on social media and the internet is extremely fickle. You make a mistake tomorrow, they're gone. So you have to treat every day like it's a final exam.
100%.
Right? You cannot, and even if I've made a mistake, and I've had this conversation with Sagar, with multiple times, you make a mistake, everybody's made a mistake. And the last time and I'll give you an example, the last time we did it, it was something about a Dubai visa that was available at 26 lakhs.
I remember this apology also very clearly,
And everybody had printed that story, and we picked up the story from the news agency, and I called the news agency. When the story came, it seemed it seemed like this, like the game we played. No, this doesn't sound. Something is wrong.
Something sounds sus. Yeah.
Something sounds sus. We called. They said, check this story. We don't. No, we've checked it. It's right. It's right. You know, our reporter has gotten a quote. It's great. It's great. It's great. Are you sure? Yeah. We're sure. Check again. No, we've checked it. You can run it. It's fine. So we ran the story. And then people started writing back to us saying, hey, there's a problem with this story. And we're like, crap, there's a problem with the story. But it was in every major daily. Everyone had carried it. Then the same news agency wrote back the next day to us saying, the UAE government has refuted the story. And I was like, thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Like, thanks for the heads up.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, now what do we do? Now, the PR move is, you just step away from it quietly. Everybody forgets about it. Everybody moves on. But if you apologize, it becomes your mistake. Nobody else is apologizing. But now you've owned the guilt of the entire industry. And I thought about it a lot. And I write every apology myself. Because you have to take that personal responsibility. Otherwise, you don't feel it. So, and I agonize, right? I take 4 hours to write it. It's like this much. But I take 4 hours to write that apology because I also don't want it. You know how sometimes when powerful men get caught in, accusations, they say, if you felt bad, then I feel sorry for you. So I make it a point when I write an apology that it shouldn't sound like that. That it should genuinely,
such a great lens, by the way. That is like, okay, I shouldn't sound like that.
I shouldn't sound like that.
Aapko bura laga to sorry.
So then I sit down and I agonize over, like, okay, do I want to do this? No, I don't want to do this. And the way I feel, the image that I built in my head, and I've been doing this for 6 years, that over 6 years I have built this wall where every day is one brick. And out of fear of this one apology, if I don't contribute my brick for today, there will be a hole in the wall that I have built. And screw it. And I'm like, I will take that risk. People will think that I messed up. It's okay. I'm going to do this. And and I do nothing else that day, by the way. The day that I have to apologize, it's all I do. I'll agonize and make all the calls, and I write it. Then I look at it again. I walk away from it. I'll come back. I'll look at it again. And then I put it out, and then I hold my breath to see, like, oh God, what are those comments saying? Okay, fine. And a lot of times, so it's like, it's so hard. And because it's so hard, and I make it hard for myself so that we take these errors really seriously.
Once again, on behalf of everyone, we thank you for your service. I feel like you've gone off to the army and we're like, we thank you for your service. And I want to tell you that if I was in the betting game, I would bet on the fact that you're taking these risks and they're going to pay off in the long run. Someday your rate is going to be higher than gold, my friend. Please remember that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm not done. I have one last because I feel like your take on this is interesting. What do you think is Gen Z's relationship with news like? Do you think they're interested? We have a lot of, I think, Gen Z folks in this room. Are they interested in the news? Do they like the news? Do they want to be journalists?
I don't know if they want to be. So this is what I find it very interesting. Gen Z cares very deeply about certain pockets of news.
Let's wager bets on what those pockets might be.
My first bet is dogs. Okay.
I want to.
The dog lobby is very strong.
Cats also, my friend.
Cats also.
Cats
right.
also. Animals.
The dog and cat lobby is very strong. My deepest respect. They're the mafioso of life.
And I love that you say this as a dog mom.
Yeah. And I've always had, like, my whole life, I grew up with dogs. My parents, like, I was born on a farm where we had cows and pigs and dogs and goats and everything, right? So I grew up around animals. But the dog people on Instagram. अगर मेरे से कुछ गलती होगी, please माफ करो. Because you can never get it right with the dog people on Instagram. And I'm being very sarcastic, but you deserve it.
Lisa.
Yeah. So I find it really funny. It's not funny sometimes. They're terrible trolls. They're horrible people, but okay. So I feel like Gen Z really cares about, the dog rights.
Yes.
And they really care about if there's an environmental story. They care about mental health. There is a strong, thank God, they care about women's rights.
Yes.
They care about climate change, which is important because it is their problem.
Yeah, it is.
And unfortunately, we've got boomers running countries, you know, making decisions that affect climate change, which they will never have to deal with because they'll be long dead.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a grave injustice of our world today that we have people like Donald Trump is 80 years old, man. People in their 80s making decisions that's going to, now I will swear, fuck the lives of the current 10 to 20-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
When they're, and Donald Trump is not going to be around. Although I thought it was interesting, this is my take on the fact that there was this leaked audio from the recent SEO meeting where Putin and I think Xi Jinping were having a conversation on how it is technology will soon make it possible for them to live until 150. So immortality, they were talking about how they can basically live forever-ish. And I was like, hopefully they will now care about climate change. Because now it becomes their problem, they'll have to live through it. You know, like...
You know, I mean, if I had to bet on any of the world leaders actually wanting to invest in something like that and living till 150, Putin would probably be at the top of the list. Look at how vain the man
Self-obsessed he
is.
is,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, he loves riding those horses topless and just putting those pictures out of himself on the internet for all of us to do what with, God knows.
Yeah, you know, I have a really unpopular opinion about world leaders.
I don't know why I'm laughing before you even
It's already
share your
funny,
opinion.
right?
Yeah.
I think you should just put women in charge here.
Ay, ay, ay.
Please, can we just?
And you
I
see, we
think
put
she
women
should
in charge over here on this show. And
I think we should just put women in charge and keep like a certain percentage of those representations for moms,
yeah.
right? And this is the serious, this is not the funny part. When there is war, and we're seeing enough war right now around the world, we're all being treated to visuals of Gaza on a daily basis where children are being shot at, burnt, having their limbs blown off. You know, they've lost their homes, they've lost their schools, they've lost all social infrastructure. It is the women who are worst affected, always. It is the women who have to figure out how to protect those children, how to feed these children, how to clothe these children. In Sudan, in you know, in places where climate change will hit us, it is the women who will have to figure out where the water is going to come from. It is the women in the slums of Delhi who have to figure out how to protect their children who cannot afford air purifiers. It is the women in Rajasthan who have to figure out how to keep their children safe. It is the women in Africa and soon parts of Europe and parts of America where the heat is going to become so bad that you will not be able to be outdoors. The women will have to figure this out.
Why do you say the women?
Because it is always the women. War, this is a properly documented fact that climate change, that war, that famine, drought hit women harder than everybody else because they have lesser money to work with. They are responsible for feeding and looking after the children.
Yeah.
They are less able to just up and leave. It normally becomes the responsibility of the women to figure out how to protect the family, and so I feel that women will make decisions differently. And the idea that we need to be able to drill more oil, make more money and have more land as a goal will perhaps not be the driving force if more women were in charge.
Something to think about. But I feel like sometimes we're just like fighting for such basic rights still that
we need to have more women in charge.
I have one last segment and then we're finally... This is called the Pasandida segment.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a bunch of things and you're going to tell me what is your Pasandida that thing. What is your Pasandida gaali?
Fucking hell.
Okay. Yeah, it's like a phrase. Fucking hell.
Fucking
Okay.
hell.
How do you say it?
Like that only.
No,
I read the
So
news.
you're going to make Ayushi's dreams come true if you say it fucking hell with like full passion.
Yeah. So this is normally my reaction when I read a news story and I'm like, fucking hell, not it. Like that's my reaction to the news.
Iska reel katega. Okay. What is your pasandida period food?
Ooh, Reese's Pieces. Yeah, I like salty chocolate. Yeah, judge me.
No, I like salty chocolate. I don't like chocolate. Salt is the only way I'm going to like chocolate.
Yeah, salty chocolate.
Yeah, it needs a little bit of like, you know, they say hot chocolate with thoda sa namak.
Yeah, I'm that weirdo who mixes peanut butter and chocolate.
I love it. You should use it. That's why she's eating peanuts, guys. It's not what we're getting paid though. It is what we're getting paid also. What is your pasandida activity to decompress?
I like walking my dog.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, therapeutic.
I like doing dinosaurs with my kid.
Great.
Sometimes I just doom scroll Instagram. Like the really, like, you know, okay, so these are my favorite people on Instagram.
Wait. So let me make it a question. What is your pasandida thing to doom scroll?
Oh yeah, I love these people. Okay, you know the ones who put out. There is a term I forget. It escapes me. Shitty content that you want to hate, right? So these trad wives.
Yeah, the rage baiters.
Yeah, correct, rage baiting. So there are two types of people on Instagram: the trad wives who are like wearing their like perfect makeup and they're cooking for their husbands from scratch. These white women, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe that the system told you that this was not right for you. I serve my man and I cook for him, and I'm like, I love this woman. I love this woman. So I watch all those videos, and the Instagram feeds me more and more because now the algorithm is confused.
God.
And then there are these other people, also white women incidentally, who make really terrible food. Do you know what I mean? Like they will take like this big thing and then they'll put like blocks of cheese, and then on top of that cheese they'll put more cheese, and then they'll empty like cans of stuff, and then they put the whole thing in the oven, and I scoop it out and eat it. I'm like, oh, it's so good.
What is this?
You have not seen this?
Is it like mukbang?
No.
It's just an overload of like if you look at that food, you're gonna be like,
Yeah, you're gonna throw up. It's like, yeah.
Cringe watch.
Yeah.
You do it on purpose to get views.
Get a reaction.
So they'll
got
take
it.
these like this big thing, and they'll be like, okay, you chop up like cheese, and then you grate more cheese, and then you put this liquid cheese, and then you put this ketchup, and they're like 2 full bottles of ketchup, and then you put this like keema on it and something, and then you stick it in the oven, and then it'll come out. It's just like this disgusting bake of like, oh my god, looks
I
like
think
puke.
you need to think about your midnight cravings. Yeah? Okay, because I think what's happening is you are about to fall asleep, and for whatever reason, you don't feel like you're full. Okay, so we need to talk about your protein intake at night.
No, but you know, when you watch this really disgusting stuff, you're like, I'm never going to eat anything ever again. It's so bad. And there's this one Indian lady, okay, I love her. So
Send me.
I'll send it to you.
Huh.
She's got this frying pan, and she will take like Cadbury's chocolate, your regular dairy milk, and she will melt it out.
I've seen her.
You've seen her?
I've seen her.
And she'll melt
And
it.
I'm just like,
and
why
she
are
puts
you
some
ruining
gems in
food?
it, and she puts some jam in it, and she put like this random shit, and she'll melt it all out and put it in a mold and say, "Dekho ban gaya." And I'm like, wow. And there'll be this audio about how her daughter came home from school and said,
Yeah.
"Mummy, मैंने
आज
कुछ
मेरी
बना-"
बेटी ने कहा
हाँ।
कि मैं कुछ अच्छा बनाऊं उनके टिफिन के लिए, तो मैंने झट से लिया कैडबरी का
Yes.
चॉकलेट, ये थोड़े से जेम्स ले लिए, थोड़े से चिप्स ले लिए, and before you make it, she has made shit.
Yes, it's hilarious. I love it. It's such good content. And I love the fact that I have to fact check something 6 times and put it on the same platform as this. I compete with eyeballs, you know, for someone who's like melting gems and Cadbury's with chips together.
Oh
I love
God.
it. Like, this
Listen,
is
I
the
feel-
world we live in right now.
You know, I've been talking to so many women about doom scrolling over the last couple of days. I'm feeling a lot better about my doom scrolling habit, by the way, because
You know, so I did
some
this
of you
thing.
are doing very sus things, I want to say.
So I did this thing where I put the time limit on my Instagram. saying-
Same.
And then my phone will say that, oh, your time is done. Shut up. What do you know?
It says,
And like,
your whatever your Snapchat and your Instagram, like your time limit is over, and I'm like, another 15 minutes, another 15 minutes.
Okay.
Fuck you. Ignore for the rest of the
ignore for the
day.
rest of the day.
Oh God, it's so pointless.
yeah.
Okay, what is the pasandida term or slang that's considered like a Faye slang? Like a thing that Faye says?
I don't know, I say kuch bhi a lot.
Kuch bhi.
Yeah. It really doesn't sound like
You know,
me.
given that you rarely speak in Hindi, you saying kuch bhi is like, yeah, kuch bhi. It's like, give me an
So
example.
see, I'm
I'll be like,
sitting at
listen,
my computer a lot writing news. So I'll be like, so and so has said this chest is 60, and I'm like, kuch bhi chal raha hai aajkal, like that, like anything. Like Donald Trump, and I think that Donald Trump writes a lot of his like social media on the pot. Now that image you cannot shake. Because you're
Hey.
imagining him with his like orange only to one part of his body and the rest of it is like pale white. I did not say he sits on the pot naked. You came up with that.
You know, I did not say.
But I'm just saying a lot of his like geopolitical stances get typed out on social media at what is 7:30 a.m. their time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just assuming. And a lot of it is crap. So, you know, that's my assumption. So every day I'm just like, this guy, man, I can't believe he said like, and you have to write it because it's news. It's arguably the most powerful man in the world has said something. So now.
Tell me why I'm thinking of his crap in orange now and thinking of Cheetos at the same time. Cheetos! This is so bizarre.
Kuch bhi.
What is a Pasandida dish you like to cook for those you love?
Ooh, okay. So I like to do these lemon butter prawns with mustard. Yeah, they're
Do you
very
make
light.
chicken?
I
I'm
do a
allergic to
roast
prawns.
chicken. Like I do a full roast chicken with the works, which is very nice. Which
Like
is
it's-
my dad's recipe actually.
You know, I'm going to tell Faye's social media team, can you all do a trad wife video of her making this roast chicken? Like, can she go to the farm? Can she bring the chicken home?
pick out these
Oh my
eggs
God,
and like-
vegetarians in the comment section getting triggered in 3, 2, 1. Thank God you didn't say pork or something else. They'll be like, you freaking Catholics.
Yeah. So I do chicken, I do fish, I do prawns, I do lots of fun salads for the vegetarians in the comment section.
Oh, they're not non-veg salads.
They could be if you wanted them.
The ghaspoos.
Ghaspoos.
Fuck it. Ghaspoos nahi chahiye.
Ghaspoos nahi
It's like
chahiye.
someone told me today for set lunch, veg biryani. I was like, sharam
There's
karo.
no such thing as veg biryani.
There is no such thing.
There is no such thing as veg
The
biryani.
Lucknowi over here will thank
It's
you.
vegetable pulao.
Thank you.
It is just pulao.
It's just pulao.
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 Pulao. There is a place in Bandra I
No, but
want
you
to
know
tell
what I
you. One
love?
second, no. There's a place in Bandra right at the turning on SV Road which proudly puts itself as something veg biryani. I'm like, तुमको शर्म नहीं आई? Veg biryani advertise करते हुए as like a restaurant
I
only for
remember
veg
seeing
biryani.
something where somebody had put like vegetables with chawal and then dum पकाया. उसको क्यों पका रहे हो? कहाँ उड़ के जाएगा तुम्हारा beans वहाँ से? कुछ नहीं होगा उससे.
But you said I don't have to like what you like, I have to respect what you
Yeah, that is true. No. See. But I'm also a
Hold
fact
on.
checker.
I draw the line.
So I respect that you love veg pulao. Let's not call it biryani.
Oh wait, actually no. Who's your Pasandida female character of all time?
Ooh,
Like a literary content, show, anything, movie.
so many.
Pick one, Faye.
Good Lord.
Your team is about to drag you out.
So Miranda Priestley from Devil Wears Prada
Oh, okay.
is
Then.
one. Margaret Thatcher. Real life Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Real life is coming to.
Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Like
RBG.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm a big fan of the Brontë sisters.
My mother did her PhD on the life
Yeah.
and times of the Brontë sisters.
Brontë
They were such a huge influence for me growing up.
Let me see. There's so many. Yeah, I really love Arundhati Roy.
So I'm going to ask you then. My next question is coming to that. Who is your Pasandida lady and what is a question you'd like to ask her? Because for me, there's a whole thought behind it. Like tomorrow, if I do get the opportunity to interview that person, I get to ask them a question that Faye D'Souza asked.
Ooh. Okay, so see, here's an interview that will never happen because Ruth Bader Ginsburg is now dead. And she broke all of our hearts. And, after
I don't
battling
think I've seen
cancer multiple
collectively
times.
women who are aware have such a meltdown over the passing of someone in recent times as much as that affected
Like,
all of us.
it made me stop. Yeah, I stopped what I was doing. It made me stop
Yeah,
for a
fully.
day. It was just like,
Just a day of scrolling videos, looking at it, yeah.
I would have asked her, and she basically took the argument through in a way that nobody saw coming. And it was so beautiful. And I think that it's so important as women who are constantly fighting for more and more ground to be able to do it with a certain level of stealth
Strategy.
and strategy. It's so important because you need, and if there's anything that Ruth Bader Ginsburg has taught us, and she lived well into her 90s, is that time is limited. We have in our careers and in our lifespan a limited amount of time in which to action change. And we have to do it with strategy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times brute force leaves us with nothing. And I think that the thing that she taught us is that, you know, she was a tiny woman, small, tiny woman, small woman, physically. She was taking on these big men. And I think that strategy and thoughtfulness and like stealth is really important.
Is there someone living that you'd like to ask a question to?
You just want my interview questions now, no? Oh, okay. So my favorite author, one of my favorite authors is Arundhati Roy. So I'm trying to get her on my podcast, but please feel free to throw your hat in the ring.
Hey man, you probably...
and like we'll compete and see who she comes to
There
first.
is no competition.
But,
you can
if
have
you-
her and I will be cheering it on and I will be being like, let's share the fuck out of this interview.
Yeah. No, so if you do get her on your podcast, you must ask her. Like she tells very Indian stories. And there's a texture to her writing, which is very Indian, and it's almost like you can feel what she says. You can feel it in your body. You can feel it in your. You can taste it. I used to always tell I read her first when I was in college, and I always say that you can taste her words. I remember in God of Small Things, she wrote about how she described the metal bars in the government bus in a way that I could taste those metal bars
Yeah, and that
in my
after
mouth.
said,
It's just so texturally written, and I would love to know how she uses words that way, like how she arrives at those sentences. and
In
how
an
she
off
does this-
scenario, I would like to say that I really hope you get to ask her this question because you feel so deeply about this.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like sometimes we must meet our heroes, even though they say don't meet your heroes because they might
Yeah.
disappoint you. But I
Yeah,
really hope you get to meet her.
Thank you.
I hope you get to ask her this question. And I am being told again and again that we absolutely need to wrap up or they're going to
Oh.
fucking throw us out. So Faye D'Souza, I want to tell you that we took a bunch of months to get to this point for many, many reasons.
for various reasons.
And this has not been an interview for me. I think for everyone sitting here, this has been a masterclass in so many ways. I have cried in this interview. I have laughed till I have peed in this interview. I think, you know, I don't know if everyone else in the room feels it. But, you know, the joke is when we were having a pre-briefing, Faye said, I don't know if I'm going to, you know, what you're going to ask me for so long or if I can really fill up a podcast. Ma'am, you could fill up a series.
You know, there is a question you have not asked me, for which
What?
I prepared an answer.
Oh,
Like I thought about it. You asked in the email that you sent, you said, what is the one thing you will not do for work?
what is the one thing you will not do for work, Faye D'Souza?
So I thought about it a lot, right? Because there's so much like, as a journalist, there's all of this like ethics and this and that. And I decided the single line through my career is that I will not lie about it. Right? So, you know, there is content that I have done which is brand collaborated, where the brand has paid and we've but we always write it out.
Yeah.
And I always say it up front in the interview saying, hey, you know what, this is a paid for. But I've still written the questions myself and this person has not doesn't have access to the questions I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask whatever I want to. So I always, and I feel like, and we circle back to what we said earlier, right? It's a form of respect to the audience.
Fully.
Saying, you know that I have to put food on the table.
Yeah.
You know that I have to like pay the salaries of these 5 people who are working with. You know that I'm an ambitious person. Now, just because I'm a journalist doesn't mean that I shouldn't have ambition.
Yeah.
And
Or that you
want-
shouldn't make money.
Or shouldn't make money, or shouldn't want to put my kid in a good school.
Yeah.
Or live in a nice house. So in order to do all of this, I need to make money. And I'm doing it in a way that is fully honest and upfront with you. And I will never lie to you. So you will never like find anything in the work that I do that is underhanded. I will always tell you upfront that, boss, this is what it is. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You can unfollow. That's okay.
Yeah.
But I will never lie to you. And I've realized that that is my bottom line. That is something I will not do.
I have 1 minute now. This is like news fields.
Yes. Janice, wrap up. Janice, you want to wrap up?
yeah,
Finish in
yeah.
1 minute.
So, if I haven't said it 50 times already, thank you for your service. Faye D'Souza, this has been a pleasure. If you guys are listening to this on an audio app, please watch the YouTube video. I promise it is 10 times more entertaining. Subscribe, share, follow all the pages. And thank you for watching. This has been a blast.
For everything that you've done, not just for the people here, but for our freaking country.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
been
insane.
very
We don't
emotional.
have words. Like, we don't have words.
Oh God, you guys.
They're like, next guest who?
Arundhati Roy, I just told you.
It's a little more.
I think subliminal programming, I have a bagua colored cushion here.
Silence! All cameras rolling.
Rolling.
Sound rolling.
Rolling.